Hello everyone. This is George from Invensis Learning. Welcome to our YouTube channel. Click on the bell icon for regular updates. Now let us look into the agenda. First, we will understand what is Agile, followed by knowing the overview of Agile methodology. Then, we shall jump into our main topic, that is, what is Agile Software Development? Next, we shall see the pivot to Agile Software Development. Post that, we shall look into the Manifesto in Agile Software Development. After that, we shall discuss why is the Agile methodology better? And continue to learn the Agile Software Development Cycle. And end the session by discussing Agile development models. Sounds interesting, right? Now without further ado, let us begin the session. We shall begin the discussion by knowing the definition of Agile. To offer winning digital experiences, businesses require software expertise. Enterprises will get there through Agile development. It should come as no surprise that technology evolves at a rapid pace. By allowing team members to break down extensive procedures into short pieces to build and test software, the Agile approach helps firms embrace these developments in the development profession. It allows the development team to deliver work more frequently and swiftly. According to the State of Agile Report 2020, Agile development is preferred by 95% or 4,000 respondents. In addition, the methodology encourages cross-functional teams within the organization, which aids in the growth process. The Agile software development technique and everything relevant to the process throughout this iteration will be covered in this video. What is Agile? The ability to produce and respond to change is known as Agile. It's a strategy for coping with, and ultimately excelling in a volatile and uncertain environment. Agile project management and software development is an iterative method that helps teams offer value to clients faster and with fewer headaches. An Agile team delivers work in tiny, digestible increments rather than relying on a big bang launch. In addition, teams have a natural mechanism for adjusting to change fast because requirements, strategies, and results are evaluated on a regular basis. It's all about figuring out how to comprehend what's going on in the environment you're in right now, identify the uncertainty you're dealing with, and figure out how to adjust to it as you go. Overview of Agile methodology. Mike Cohn, the contributor of the Scrum software development method, said, "The worst thing you can deliver in a 2-year project is what the customer wanted on day 1. The Agile software development methodology allows backward tracking and enables the development team to build a broader feature set in time-box cycles. Traditional methodologies such as waterfall used to be dominant in the industry, but that is no longer the case. The lack of backward mobility is the reason why waterfall approaches begin to fade. There is no room for additional functionality, and maintaining the system is difficult. Agile methodologies are product development approaches that are consistent with the Agile Manifesto's values and principles for software development. Agile methodologies aim to create the best product possible by forming small cross-functional self-organizing teams that deliver small chunks of the functionality on a regular basis, allowing for frequent customer feedback and course correction as needed. Agile attempts to overcome challenges that traditional waterfall strategies of delivering large items over long periods of time face, such as client needs changing often, leading to the supply of erroneous products. The Agile methodology is a cutting-edge method to software development that emphasizes flexibility and speed. The approach has introduced new concepts of iterative and incremental development processes to ensure flawless and quicker delivery. It follows a standard development process from requirement collecting to design, development, testing, deployment, and maintenance. On the other hand, the Agile technique modifies the strategy at each stage. Now that you guys got an idea of Agile methodology, let us now look into the Agile software development. What is Agile software development? Agile software development refers to a set of iterative software development methodologies in which requirements and solutions arise from collaboration among self-organizing cross-functional teams. Agile methods or Agile processes promote a disciplined project management process that encourages frequent inspection and adaptation, a leadership philosophy that promotes teamwork, self-organization, and accountability, a set of engineering best practices that enable rapid delivery of high-quality software, and a business approach that aligns development with customer needs and company goals. Agile development refers to any development approach that follows the Agile Manifesto's concepts. A group wrote the Manifesto of 14 software industry leaders, and it reflects their knowledge of what methods work and what approaches don't work for software development. The Agile software development community strongly emphasizes cooperation and the self-organizing team. That isn't to say there aren't any managers. Instead, it suggests that groups are capable of figuring out how to handle problems on their own. Those teams are cross-functional, in other words. Those teams don't need to have specific jobs, instead, they should make sure they have all of the necessary skill sets when they get together. Managers have a place in the world. First, managers ensure that team members possess or acquire the necessary skill sets. Managers create an environment in which the team may succeed. Managers usually take a step back and let their teams figure out how they will deliver products, but they step in when the teams try but are unable to resolve issues. When most teams and companies begin using Agile development, they concentrate on methods that aid in collaboration and task organization, which is wonderful. However, specific technical practices that directly deal with designing software in a way that helps your team deal with uncertainty are another important set of practices that are not widely followed but should be. These technical steps are extremely important and should not be disregarded. Ultimate path of the Agile software development. When it was originally established in 1970, the waterfall methodology was groundbreaking. It ensured that software development was disciplined by ensuring that there was a clear requirement to follow. It was built on Henry Ford's 1913 assembly line innovations, which provided certainty at each step of the manufacturing process to verify that the end product matched the specifications. Computing systems and their applications were often complicated and monolithic when the waterfall methodology was introduced to the software world, demanding discipline and a defined objective to deliver. Requirements also changed more slowly back then than they do now, making large-scale projects less troublesome. In reality, systems were designed to expect that they would never change and would serve as perpetual battleships. Not only in software development but also in manufacturing and other business activities, multi-year timescales were widespread. However, the waterfall's rigidity became an Achilles heel in the Internet age, where speed and flexibility were essential. When developers started working on online apps, software development methodology began to shift. A lot of the early work was done at startups, where the teams were smaller, co-located, and many of the people didn't have typical computer science backgrounds. In addition, there were financial and competitive demands to get websites, apps, and new features to market as quickly as possible. As a result, development tools and platforms evolved quickly. Many of us at startups began to doubt the waterfall technique and explore ways to be more efficient. We couldn't afford to complete all of the thorough documentation upfronts, so a more iterative and collaborative method was required. One could raise as much money as you wanted, but you wouldn't be able to attract brilliant software developers who could work with quickly evolving internet technologies if you treated them like slaves who slavishly follow the spec. A group of seasoned software developers got together in 2001 and realized they were developing software in a way that wasn't following the usual waterfall process. They also weren't all working for startups. This group, which comprised technological heavyweights Kent Beck, Martin Fowler, Ron Jeffries, Ken Schwaber, and Jeff Sutherland, drafted the Agile Manifesto. It detailed their common beliefs on how a modern software development process should operate. The Agile software development technique arose from these concepts. To learn more about Lean Six Sigma and quality management, check out Invensis Learning's project management certification training on Lean Six Sigma and quality management. All of the necessary information is given in the description box. Subscribe to our YouTube channel for regular updates. So, let us now understand the Manifesto for Agile Software Development at a greater depth. Manifesto for Agile Software Development. The Manifesto for Agile Software Development and its 12 Ideas is an umbrella title for a set of concepts and activities based on the ideals and principles articulated in the Manifesto for Agile Software Development. It's generally a good idea to live by these values and principles while approaching software development in a given way and to utilize them to help you calculate what to do in your individual scenario. The Agile Manifesto's writers chose the word Agile as the moniker for this entire concept because it reflected the adaptability and reactivity to change that was so vital to their methodology. 20 years ago, in Snowbird, Utah, 17 software engineers gathered to suggest a new approach of producing software, by doing it and helping others do it. The signers of the Agile Manifesto realized how much these concepts would aid them in the field of software development as a result of their work, but they had no idea how quickly their ideas would spread outside of their profession. As a result, the Manifesto's creators listed the following values as the most important. Individuals and interactions over processes and tools. Working software over comprehensive documentation. Customer collaboration over contract negotiation. Responding to change over following a plan. Since then, the original paper has been used by a wide range of organizations, including developers, Boy Scout troops, marketing departments, and restaurants. Its universality stems from a set of Agile concepts that can be used in a variety of situations, are simple to acquire, and are rarely entirely mastered. Here are the main ideas for incremental development that have made Agile what it is today before it spreads to every part of the globe. Our highest priority is to satisfy the customer through early and continuous delivery of valuable software. Welcome changing requirements, even late in development. Agile processes harness change for the customer's competitive advantage. Deliver working software frequently, from a couple of weeks to a couple of months, with a preference for the shorter timescale. Business people and developers must work together daily throughout the project. Build projects around motivated individuals. Give them the environment and support they need, and trust them to get the job done. The most efficient and effective method of conveying information to and within a development team is face-to-face conversation. The most efficient and effective method of conveying information to and within a development team is face-to-face conversation. Agile processes promote sustainable development. The sponsors, developers, and users should be able to maintain a constant pace indefinitely. Continuous attention to technical excellence and good design enhances agility. Simplicity, the art of maximizing the amount of work not done, is essential. The best architectures, requirements, and designs emerge from self-organizing teams. At regular intervals, the team reflects on becoming more effective, then tunes and adjusts its behavior accordingly. These 12 principles of Agile software, which were also developed at the Snowbird Summit, expand on the values' few phrases. That's all there is to it. Since then, the Agile Manifesto website has changed very little, if at all. On the other hand, the world around Agile could not be more dissimilar. Now, after understanding the Agile Manifesto in software development, let us look into the fact of how is Agile better. Why is the Agile methodology better? You usually get better quality apps, faster developed applications, and better technical approaches when you combine Agile ideas, execute them in an Agile framework, use collaborative technologies, and follow Agile development practices. The main reason for this is that Agile was created with flexibility and adaptability in mind. The problem is broken down into digestible components, which you then build and test with users, rather than defining all of the answers up front as in the waterfall method. If something isn't working as intended, or if the effort exposes something that wasn't anticipated, you may immediately adjust the effort to get back on track, or even change tracks if necessary. In addition, Agile allows each team member to contribute to the solution and requires that they do so. Agile development is superior for many challenges because its ideas, methods, and techniques are tailored to today's operational realities. Agile frameworks and development procedures that prioritize producing working software repeatedly and encourage the use of feedback to enhance the application and process are better suited to today's world of operating smarter and faster. Product owners may believe they know exactly how they want to design an application that achieves their vision. Still, they rarely want to give up the chance to modify that vision as they speak with more users and observe how an application operates in their hands. Similarly, development teams believe they know how to create the ideal program. Still, they won't be able to show it off until the complete application has been integrated, functionality demonstrated, and changes have been made. Now, we shall look into the Agile Software Development Cycle. The Agile Software Development Lifecycle is a set of steps that a product goes through as it progresses from conception to completion. Concept, conception, iteration, release, maintenance, and retirement are the 6 phases. Depending on the project management methodology chosen by a team, the Agile life cycle will differ differently. Scrum teams, for example, work in sprints, which are short time periods similar to iterations. They also have responsibilities that are explicitly defined, such as Scrum Master. Kanban teams, on the other hand, have a more continuous flow with no needed roles. Extreme programming is another example, in which teams work in shorter iterations and place a greater emphasis on engineering methods. The first step, concept, entails identifying commercial opportunities in each proposed project as well as estimating the amount of time and effort required to complete it. This data can then be used to rank projects and determine which ones are worth pursuing based on their technical and financial viability. The team members are identified, finance is provided, and the initial needs are addressed with the customer during the second step, inception. A timeline that explains the various roles of teams and clearly states when work is anticipated to be finished for each sprint should also be prepared. A sprint is a set period during which specific work has to be completed and made ready for review. Inception, it's time to assemble the software development team once the concept has been defined. A product owner will verify the availability of their colleagues and select the most qualified individuals for the project, as well as provide them with the required tools and resources. The design process can then begin. The team will design a user interface mock-up and lay out the project architecture. The inception stage entails obtaining further feedback from stakeholders in order to fully flesh out the requirements on a diagram and identify the product's functionality. Regular check-ins will verify that all requirements are accounted for during the design phase. Iteration/construction is the third step, in which teams begin developing working software based on requirements and ongoing input. Iterations, or single development cycles, are used in the Agile Software Development Cycle to build on one another and lead to the next phase in the overall development process until the project is finished. Each iteration is typically 2 to 4 weeks long and has a predetermined end date. At the end of each iteration, the goal is to have a working product to launch. Release: the product is on the verge of being released. However, the quality assurance team must first do several tests to guarantee that the software is completely functional. These members of the Agile team will test the system to ensure that it is bug-free. If any potential problems or defects are discovered, the developers will address them as soon as possible. This phase will also include user training, which will necessitate more documentation. When all of this is finished, the final iteration of the product can be released into production. Maintenance: customers will now be able to use the software after it has been fully delivered. It now enters the maintenance phase as a result of this operation. The software development team will give ongoing support during this time to ensure that the system runs properly and that any new defects are resolved. They'll also be on hand to provide users with further training and make sure they understand how to utilize the product. New iterations can be made throughout time to update the existing product with updates and new features. Retirement: a product enters the retirement phase for one of two reasons. It is being replaced by new software, or the system has grown obsolete or incompatible with the organization over time. Users will be notified first by the software development team that the software is being decommissioned. Users will be moved to the new system if a replacement is found. Finally, the developers will complete any outstanding end-of-life tasks and discontinue support for the existing product. There are several iterations in each phase of the Agile life cycle to polish deliverables and provide excellent results. Now, let's have a look at the two most important Agile development models. Agile development models. Agile teams employ a variety of ways to produce software. However, there are two main methods. Scrum methodology. Kanban. Scrum methodology. The most well-known and straightforward way is Agile Scrum methodology. According to the State of Agile report, the Scrum technique is used by 56% of teams. It's a methodology for creating and maintaining complicated products. The Scrum Guide contains the definition of Scrum and the concept behind it. Scrum Guide 2020 Update is the title of my article. The impact of major changes on development teams. The most recent revisions to the Scrum Guide that are relevant to the development process can be found there. It is based on the following principles. The Scrum approach relies on the Scrum Master's role in assisting the product owner in identifying and prioritizing targets. The goals and feature set are then added to a product backlog, which lists the goals and features. The cross-functional team evaluates the backlog and selects sprints for delivering possibly shippable increments of software. A sprint might last up to 4 weeks. Daily stand-up meetings are held to ensure clear communication between team members and keep everyone up to date on development progress. After each sprint, the team examines the backlog and gathers for a demo meeting to show the capability of the product owner and his stakeholders. A retrospective meeting is a final step in the Agile Scrum technique. The team discusses the situation at this meeting. Kanban method. Kanban is another common strategy used by development teams. This strategy emphasizes continuous delivery and keeping things simple so that the team is not overworked. It works this way. The teams use Kanban boards to visualize their workflow. Cards and columns are used on these Kanban boards to assist teams to make their work visible, displaying it to others, and finishing the job. The team can also use software such as Jira or Atlassian. The software features a board-style interface that allows teams to see their to-do and in-progress tasks. The Kanban method's best feature is that the team knows exactly how much they can or will do in a sprint, and nothing extra will be added. This helps teams stay motivated without being burnt out by balancing the workflow. The Kanban approach ensures that the team understands exactly what will happen next, preparing for half of the activities ahead of time. This is beneficial. The Agile software development methodology is the most effective method for focusing on speed and flexibility. Because of the multiple advantages it offers, an increasing number of development businesses are adopting this methodology. Following the Agile methodology while simultaneously adopting the Agile attitude is the key to creating market-ready software. The strategy is the best way to implement change in the marketplace. It's all about responding to consumer input as rapidly as possible without delaying the completion of your project. It's all about preparing and distributing modest, frequent increments of your product so that there's always space for improvement at a low cost. Pick the Agile method and keep moving forward. We at Invensis Learning will provide certifications for Agile project management related courses. We offer certification courses for Agile PM Certification, Agile PM Foundation, Agile PM Practitioner, Agile Scrum Certification, Agile Scrum Foundation Certification, Agile Master Certification. You can also own certain advantages if you are wishing to take certification from us. Interactive instructor-led training. Expert trainers with rich domain knowledge and expertise. Flexibility to retake training within 2 months. Lifetime access to webinars. Training material created by SMEs. Case studies for an enriching learning experience. Pay in your local currency without any hassle. Lifetime access to a personalized LMS. To learn more about Lean Six Sigma and quality management, check out Invensis Learning's Project Management Certification Training on Lean Six Sigma and Quality Management. All of the necessary information is given in the description box. If you have any remaining queries concerning the Agile technique and would like expert advice, you can contact us.